Now let's take a look at the leaves. Right now for the clusters, we're just using the placeholder leaves that come in with the tool by default. But what if we wanted to use an atlas that we have on disk? Piping atlases into Natsura systems couldn't be easier. First, we need to search for an atlas material node. And if we set the display flag to this atlas material node, you'll see that we have an example material waiting to be used. The atlas material node is a powerful interface that requires its own video series. But for now, all you need to know is that you need to check if you have existing files on disk that you wish to use, you just set the mode for all the channels to file. And then once you're done, you need to hit render all. Once rendered, we're going to put down an atlas mesh node. Switch the display flag to the atlas mesh, and we're now looking at a meshed and baked output from the material. In order to verify that this is in fact now a mesh and not a material that we're looking at, we can go and change the viewport mode to wireframe. You can toggle between wireframe and shaded by hitting W on the keyboard when you're in smooth shaded view. While in the wireframe view, we can change some of the construction settings like edge length and inner edge length to get more optimized geometry. Or if we want to, we can increase the subdivisions to improve the quality. Once again, the Atlas processing workflow deserves a series in itself. So for now, we're just going to go with these default outputs. If I now right click and search for a skeleton node, I'm going to select the skeleton node, and I'm going to switch my viewport to be front orthographic view. Since this looks like it's actually flipped back to front, I can just flick between front and back by pressing 3 on the keyboard. 1 is perspective, 2 is top, 3 is front and back, and 4 is right and left. While in the back view, I'm going to go and click on the skeleton node once more, click inside of the viewport, and press enter. This means we're now inside of an interactive state in the viewport. The way that Houdini handles interactive states can be a little bit alienating for newcomers, but you'll get the hang of it after a while. I'm going to go through that once more. You can press escape to exit the state, and I'm back in the perspective view. I'll press 3 to switch between front and back. While in the back view, I'll go and select the skeleton node. Then I need to activate the viewport by clicking in the viewport, and then I need to hit enter on the keyboard. Now we're in the skeleton state. I need to hold Alt on the keyboard in order to navigate around. By holding Alt, we deactivate the state temporarily. Then I can use middle mouse and drag to move and pan around, and I can scroll the mouse wheel to zoom in and out while still holding Alt. If you try to do any of these actions without holding Alt, you'll notice that unwanted things happen. Now, releasing Alt, I'm going to left click at the base of the stem for each leaf that I wish to use, and then I'm going to left click at the tip of that leaf and hit enter. Then I'll hold Alt and drag to pan the screen, left click at the base of the leaf that I want, left click at the tip and press enter. And I'll repeat this process for all of the Atlas elements that I wish to use. For now, this is fine. So I'll hit escape to exit the tool, and then I can drag and drop the output of the skeleton pin into the second or the first gold pin of the Atlas mesh. Once we've done this, we can see that all of the leaves that we've selected with the skeleton have become highlighted. I'll press 1 to switch back to a perspective view. And finally, before we can use these in the cluster decorator, we just need to put down an Atlas layout node. If everything has worked as expected, the Atlas layout mode will arrange your leaves in a line. And then we can go and look at the simulate for our branch, and we can pipe the output of the Atlas layout into that cluster decoration. You should now see that we've replaced the temporary geometry with the actual meshed leaves. And if we go and look at the final simulate, we now see the final result. Now, sometimes Houdini has another bug visually, which can be fixed with the display by just zooming in and out. I think that this canopy isn't looking anywhere near dense enough right now. So what I'm going to do is go back to my branch clusters, and I think I'll add another few steps of growth, or actually I'll increase the fork probability. There we go. So we're going to get more of these leaves, and I'll also go ahead and increase the length of each individual leaf. Now if we go and look at the final simulate, we're going to get a more dense looking result. Now, because I've made my leaves all very much clustered towards the end of these branches, we have a slightly odd looking output, but I'll leave it up to you to figure out how to improve it from here. If you wanted to view your tree with slightly better shading, you can go to the object level, add a skylight, and then turn on shadows with this button here. Okay, and that's it for the introduction to Natsura. Thank you for watching. The last step that you may be wishing to do is to take this through to Unreal, but we have videos on that process in other series. So thanks a lot, and see you next time.